Okay, guys. So hope everyone has watched last week video on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do it. So today I'm going to explain the compute part. Okay, how the compute got virtualized. So before this, let's clear few queries which you might have in your mind. Okay. So first thing is, do you see this picture?
Yes.
Okay. So what your observation on this picture? So my observation is everyone is walking by their own. They don't have any centralized system who is controlling them, right? So the chances are the collision may occur and the delay is can be observed, right? So same thing is happening with our traditional networking. Okay, so we have multiple devices in the path. Okay, and each device is taking a decision by his own. Okay, no matter if you are using OSPF, BGP, and all. So OSPF, BGP, every protocol they are having three things in their this one picture. First is control, who is controlling them, management plane, and data plane. Through data plane they are walking. Through control plane they are taking decision whether to take left and right. And through management plane we are guiding them that we have to how they are going to walk. Okay, so there are three planes in every network device. So let's go ahead and crack those three planes. So if you see this picture, so this is how the traditional networking looks like. And if you see this picture, so this is how the software defined networking is streamlined. Okay, so first let's talk about this picture more. So everyone knows about routers, right? And routers are interconnected with each other. A is connecting to B and B is connecting to C. Okay, so we might have the LANs like this in each environment. Okay, these are the LANs. I'm not going to have the IP addresses. So this is the high level overview. So if you see here, A router is having something. So A will give it to B, no matter through BGP, OSPF, EIGRP, or any other protocol. B also extend that A's information and self information to C, right? And C will go ahead and use that information provided by B, and B will use the same information either provided by C or A. So this is how our traditional or our networking works. All of a sudden, if something happens to C, okay, if something goes wrong with C router, then what will be the impact on your device? Any idea, Mubin?
The C's LAN network went down after router.
Yeah. If C router went down, then obviously what will happen? You will lose your three things. First thing, the control that is called as management plane. True? You lose the control of router, right? Management.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Second, the router is having some information about the environment. So that is something routing table, ARP table, cache, memory, something. Okay. So that is called as control plane. The way it's controlling the ingress and egress port. So the control plane will also get lost. Correct? But if you have something switches which are having two soup engines, so that time they will exchange the control plane information with each other. But for that, you have to invest that much. Instead of running one router, you have to run two routers. Everyone knows about the soup engines?
Soup is nothing but brain of that switch.
So how many soup engines are there? One or two? High-end switches, two?
Two. Yes.
Okay. So you have those are costly affairs, right? So
yes.
Raju, are you aware about soup engine? Raju, Priyanka?
No, sir.
Okay. So let me explain soup engine in short. Okay. So this will be some small information I'll give you in addition. So generally what happened, in your enterprise network, whenever I say enterprise network, then think that users are going to connect. Whenever I'm saying data center network, then think that servers are going to connect. Simple. Okay. So in enterprise network, generally what happened, you'll have the requirement of ports. How many users are going to sit? Based on that, you have to design your environment. If you are having something, a big hall, a big something sitting area, there you will have capacity of 200 user. So obviously one switch will come with 48 ports. Then how many switch you need to install, Mubin?
5.
Five individual switch you can go ahead and install. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here problem is managing all these 5 switches. It's a difficult task. So what we'll do, we have one concept called as switch stacking, right? So they will connect with each other through daisy chain. Okay. So this is how what we did initially. So this is how the transformation of switching. Okay. So first thing is you'll go ahead and install the single switch. Everyone knows about this, right? Install one single switch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then every switch will have their own IP address. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every switch will have his own MAC address. Every switch will have his own ARP address. Maybe if it's in access layer, then ARP address will not be here, it's there somewhere. Okay. So this is how the first generation, you can say, or whatever, first method of switching. Second method is you can connect it through daisy chain. Okay. Second method is connect through daisy chain. Only 1 minute. Okay. Second method is through this switch stacking. So what we are doing by doing this, we are merging the control plane of all and management plane. Sorry, management plane. Okay. So we'll have only one IP address. In order to control this switch, we are merging the management plane. I think control plane will also get merged and data plane will remain active. Okay. Right, Salahuddin, control plane and management plane.
Yes, yes. Control plane and management plane will get merged if we do a switch tagging.
Okay. So here, now you got to know about this one, that there are 3 things. One is how you are managing these switches. So if you are accessing these switches, let's try to understand in this way. If you are having 3 things, one is management plane. Second one is something control plane. And third one is something data plane. Okay. What's happening in management plane? In management plane, you are accessing this device, SSH, telnet, accessing this device, SNMP, all those managerial kind of thing will happen through management plane. You are taking UI control, you are taking CLI control. Okay. And these devices are talking to each other. They are forming this spanning tree. They are having OSPF, BGP, or anything. I'm talking about general term. Okay. Router and all these things. So that comes in control plane. And data plane is your traffic is coming through one interface and going through other interface. So that is called as data plane. So control plane will instruct to data plane that this is how you have to behave. The traffic is coming from this interface and going through that interface will be controlled by control plane, and instruction would be given by data plane. So data plane will execute that. Okay. And in management plane, you'll go ahead and do the configuration. Okay. And based on management plane, your control plane is going to configure. Through management, you decided to have OSPF, but control plane says that I am going to run BGP or EIGRP. Is it going to happen? No, right? Your management plane, the configuration decide how control plane is going to behave, and your control plane based on the received information, MAC table, IP table, neighbor table, topology table, all these things is going to behave and decide how data plane is going to behave. Correct? If any of device get lost, then all this information is swiped away. Then you have to rely on backup. Then you have to fetch the backup, and then you have to replace this device, and then you have to put it back. Okay. So in order to fix that problem, what we did, we came up with switch stacking. In switch stacking, what we are doing, the management plane, and we are merging two planes. So here I gave this wrong color to this one. Let me go ahead and give the correct color. Okay. So what's happening? Your management plane, okay, and your control plane both will get merged. Merged means they will work at same time, and your data plane will remain on these devices, every device. This device will have his own data plane, this device will have his own data plane, but all devices will have only one management and control plane. And the master, who is the master and slave concept, will be there. One will be the leader. Everywhere you go, one will be the leader who will go ahead and take the charge of that. Okay, make sure that the low capacity device should not be a master. Okay, so now the management plane and control plane both are working together. So instead of logging in individually on each device, simply you can go ahead and SSH to one device and you can take configuration. So you might have seen like 0/0/0, the port number. Anyone knows, Priyanka, what is this?
It represents the FPC and then
Okay,
PSN, then
first
it's
one
a
is
port
port.
number.
First one is
Yeah.
port. Second one,
The number of your FPC.
the switch, number of switch. The second,
Yeah, you can say that.
Second one is
okay.
socket of the switch
Yeah, module you can say, or switch you
slot.
can say, switch number. Okay, and the
If
first
you
one
can,
is,
if you are considering as a Juniper, it will say like first one is a FPC, which you can say like
mhm.
if it is a first switch, it will take zero. If it is a second in a stack, it will take one. And for zero, if you are having if you are adding extra ports, then only the second one will
No,
get
no,
any
no.
number.
Yeah, you're
And the
talking
third
about,
one is
okay, you're talking about an individual switch who is having multiple
no.
modules like this, multiple modules like this.
Um,
Okay,
no, actually, I was talking about virtual
RSP
switch
tag
only.
number, sir.
Yes, sir, that is
pardon?
correct. In the modules, second octet
Okay.
will be
So
mentioned.
second octet will be the module or
Yeah,
switch
right.
number, and the first one is their environment,
Which
whatever.
number?
Okay, so this is how it works. The first environment, and then environment, or I forgot the name actual. So this is your switch, number of switch. This is your environment. So this is first switch, second switch, third switch. It will start with 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have 5 switches. Then if I want to modify 5, the module 1 and the 5 number switch, and the port number is 42, then this will come here. Okay, so this is how it works. So once you form this, then your ports will get transitioned into this order. Okay, so by sitting at one switch, you can go ahead and configure any port. So this simplifies what? This simplifies your environment where your management plane and control plane is working on any of the switch. Correct? Okay. Let's move at something more now. The third one, what we are going to have, instead of having individual devices, what we'll do is we'll have one big box. Okay, this is called as chassis 650, or any Nexus switch you can take. In this chassis, you'll go ahead and install this switch as a module. Okay, the first switch, this is the first module. Second switch, second module. Third switch, third module. Fourth switch, fourth module. But there is a reserve place for the fifth one, that is called as soup engine, which is nothing but the having the brain of the device, as Salahuddin told. Okay, if you want to have more soup engines, then you can also have more soup engines. If you are running this switch at core, if you are running at access layer, then you'll not have that device. Okay, running with single is fine. Double is when you have critical device. So they will share the control plane information with each other. If this device is sharing the control plane, then if in case of failure, this will give this information to this one. Okay, if you are accessing to this device, you are not only accessing this only soup engine, you are accessing whole chassis. So this is how data center switches and access layer switches, or whatever distribution, it depends on your company. Okay, this is how the environment looks like. So you know about what is control plane, management plane, and data plane now?
Yes.
You got it right? Okay, so I'll move one more step further. So you have such switch like this. So now this is called as the switch 1, This is switch 1. This is the okay. This is switch 1, and this is the module 1, and this is the port 5. So this is called as 1/1/5. But what happens if you have multiple switches? Multiple switches means there is a called one of technology is there which got depreciated now. VSS. Have you heard about VSS?
Yep.
Okay. Cisco will do? Cisco will join these switches together with the help of big cable in between, fiber optic cable. So these switches will act in single plane. Okay. So we are going to merge all the planes, and then this is how VSS works. Okay, it will install two big links in between, and now the port number one will take as a 0 and one will act as a 1. Okay, so if one become master, if you want to access this port, so this is now 0/module 1/port number 5. You got it now? 0, what is the mean of 0? So this is first switch, and this is one is second switch, and the first is this is module, and this is port number. So what here I'm trying to say that this is how the transitioning of switching system is. Now we are heading toward the software defined networking environment. There are two things now, physical and logical. Okay, because now we are going to have virtual machines. So virtual machines will not have these kind of switches. Virtual machine will have virtual switches. There also we are going to have a standard switch, distributed switch, and then the switch which is having something VXLAN back. Okay, so this is the transition now. If you got stuck here, then there is a problem because you have to move towards software defined networking. So how software defined networking looks like? Let me go ahead and tell you. So hope everyone got to know about management plane, control plane, and data plane. Okay, these are your first, second, and third. Any question about management plane, control plane, and data plane? Okay, let me explain one more time in short. If you have a router, if you are doing a telnet, SSH, SNMP, syslog, anything with that device, that is called as management category traffic or management configuration. Your device is working with OSPF, PGP, any other protocol, and it's storing some routing table, injecting something, and doing some taking decision. That is called as control plane. Okay, and your device traffic is coming from one interface and going to another interface based on the decision taken by the control plane. That is called as data plane. If your data plane is down, obviously there is no use of control plane. Okay, if your management plane is down, then something will happen. No, right?
No, traffic
Or
means you will just not be able to access the device.
yeah, if your management plane, no, here problem is all are sitting on same device. If something happens, agar light chala gaya to
Yeah,
all are
everything.
affected, right?
Yeah.
You won't be able to isolate it until and unless you do something in software way. See, agar if you lost your light, then all three planes are affected. Okay, agar you did any misconfiguration data plane, then your control plane is gone, management plane is also gone. Something means some weird situation will happen where you will risk your whole device. So what we are going to do, we are going to detach all these things, planes from them. Okay, how we are going to detach? Instead of having a router, we are going to have a virtual machine which is going to act as a router. Okay, how we are going to see in NSXT, that is nothing but NSXT. Okay, so what NSXT is going to do? NSXT is going to decouple these three planes: control plane, data plane, and management plane. How to decouple it? We'll see it later. Okay, so yeah, so here we have to understand compute first. Okay, so let me come back now to this slide. So now we are at this stage. Here I explain you how the management, control, and data plane works. Because of this kind of behavior happens. Now we are moving to this one, software defined networking. What is software defined networking? Here you can say ticketing system, which is compared, if you compare ticketing system or anything that comes in management plane. Okay, if you are going to airport and then you are accessing you are buying ticket, and then you are trying to board the airline, then that comes in management plane. Okay, then one is control plane. They are controlling the traffic of airline. Okay, that airport. So that comes in control plane. And in data plane, your actual runway and your plane will come. Okay, that comes in data plane. They are interconnected with each other, but if something goes wrong, then they are not going to hamper each other. If suppose your ticketing system is having some problem, does that mean that the uh, the plane is going to be affected? No, right?
No. No.
Your plane and your control plane, they will work as usual based on the schedule. Okay, if ticketing is not happening properly, so obviously you are not going to onboard any new customer, but whoever is there existing one, they are going to onboard it. But any new changes you are you are not going to make, you are not going to do any modification in that if ticketing environment get affected. If your control environment is got affected, obviously they have backups, so another will take over. And then if they have multiple controllers, right, they are not the single one. Here if you see, this as a single building, but inside of this they have something backups, 1 or 3 controller equipments which are monitoring the and giving the instruction to airline to fly and land, right? So that control plane is running with backups. So if one fails, automatically within a second the second one will comes up and then it will start doing this business. Okay, if your data plane fails, then simply you'll offload the what is the correct word, you'll ask the customers to come out and then board the new plane, right?
Right.
So that is also going to happen automatically with the help of someone. Okay, because you are having multiple planes in line, right? If something is one plane is having problem, obviously the airline is going to arrange the second one without the knowledge of the customers. Or have you seen that they are saying that your plane got faulty, that's the reason we are going to cancel your plane. Obviously if they have capacity, then what they will do, they will park that plane into the garage and then they will bring up the second airplane and then they will board you. Any question here?
No.
So with this terminology we are going to see next. Yeah, any question guys?
No.
Okay, so these are the 3 planes through which software defined networking is designed. Okay, so who are the market players there? You can see Cisco. Okay, after having these kind of environments, 1, 2, 3, now Cisco came up with different approach. And what is that approach? That is spine and leaf. Have you heard about that spine and leaf approach?
Yes.
Yeah, so what will happen? There will be two switches. You can use your uh, Dexus qualified switches as well with upgraded version and operating system. Here we were using Cisco IOS or Nexus IOS, but here we are using something software defined based IOS. Okay, so you'll have some other switches, second layer of switch, those are called as the leaf. And the leaf will connect to two spine at a time, or 2 leaves at a time. Okay, the leaves are going to connect to spines, and once they are connected, you don't have to configure these links. These links will get auto configured. How? So there is a device called as Epic. Okay, this sits in management plane and you have to connect it here. So once you start this configuration, so automatically it will discover the leaf. Then the leaf will discover the spine. Leaf will discover the another spine. This spine will help you to discover the another leaf. So this way they are going to form the topology. So this is called as fabric. Okay, by sitting here, you don't have to configure these ports, and these ports are going. These will be the L3 connections, and they are running IS as a protocol, which you don't have to manage. Simply you have to start connecting to each other, joining the lines. That's it. Joining the dots. That's it. Okay, and this is called ACI. Okay, now you can go ahead and plug in your workload, whatever your workload is there. What is workload? Your servers. Okay, so generally there are two ways of servers. One is the physical server, another is a virtual machine which is acting as a server. So there are 90% you are going to have your virtual machine acting as a servers. Okay, so simply you can go ahead and connect the workload. No spanning tree is required, or your small protocols you don't have to worry about. You don't have to have ospf, eigrp, igrp. Your port will not get blocked, nothing. Those things are avoided here. Okay, loop will not be found because these are L3 links. Okay, and all their brain is sitting here. Your management plane is here, your control plane is here, and the whole this environment is called as data plane. You got my point? This whole is called as data plane. Your management plane is here on this device. Okay, and your control plane is also here. So this, by sitting here, policy driven approach is there. By sitting here, this device is going to tell this server that, yeah, you have to follow this instruction, and you have to encapsulate this, and you have to you'll have this IP address, or you'll have this port configuration. By sitting on this epic, you are going to instruct whole environment. Any question? Okay. So now we are going beyond this. This is the something physical infrastructure which we got upgraded. Okay. Yeah, Stephen, your voice is something. If you do, you have any question?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Can you mute the line because your some noise is coming. Okay. Second thing, after Cisco, Juniper also have something there similar architecture. Okay, we are not going to inside of that Juniper. They are also having controller, they are also having management and all these things. Okay, and then NSX VMware is also having something which is called as a fabric, or they are also having software defined approach. So there are multiple players: Cisco, Juniper, VMware. Now VMware is taken over by Broadcom. Okay, so VMware is having NSX. VMware will virtualize compute as well as network. Okay, and storage as well. So one platform, one product is going to virtualize everything. So obviously you'll prefer this one only. Cisco will virtualize only networking part. Okay, even it's also dependent for load balancing, it's dependent on others. For firewalling is it's also having some features, but some will not like that, so you have to go out. But VMware will give you the portfolio. It's having all the products in one umbrella. Okay, that we'll talk more about when we go to NSX. Okay, so initial NSX was NSX data center NV. Now the current version is NSXT. Okay, so this is how the software defined networking is working. So this is the east west and north south traffic. So any question before going for east west and north south? Any question, guys, that what is software defined networking? Because it's going to decouple the management plane, data plane, and control plane. How we are going to decouple, that is something another story we are going to see. Let's talk about east west traffic. So what is east west traffic? So what is traffic? Let's try to understand first. Anyone knows what is traffic? You will have a server, one server, two server, and these servers are connected to switch. Switch is then connected to router. Router is then connected to internet, or router is connected to MPLS. Correct? This is the way we are having networking, right? Guys, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what will happen, so we have black server, and then we'll also have red servers. So let's try to understand the traffic pattern now. If server 1, 2, 3, and 4 are there, if one wants to connect to 2, then simply broadcast will happen, and both are part of same network. Then the broadcast will reach the environment, and they will communicate with each other. Is there any question in communication 1 and 2? No, right?
No.
Why? Because they are part of
Same VLAN, you can say.
same VLAN,
Yes.
right? No question in that. Okay. So now let's talk about how your other devices are going to work. If one wants to communicate to 3, then how will be the traffic pattern? Yeah, Priyanka?
That will go to switch, and maybe if different VLAN and the L3 is on router, then it will go to there.
It
Or
will go to
else,
router.
yeah, if it is having L3 over there and switch
Yeah,
doesn't
obviously, both are
connect
in
to
different
main,
segment. Both are in
yeah,
different segments. Okay, so
then that
traffic
might
will go to router,
yeah, then that might
and
happen.
okay, here routing will decision will take place, and then it will come back.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our normal approach. So now think that you virtualize your compute. Instead of having physical server, you bought a big server. Okay, and then how to take a line, solid line with thin. Okay, thin. So what happened, now these four servers, you converted them to virtualization, virtual machines. Okay, and now they are part of this big server. Okay, again same traffic pattern behavior. Yes, right. Again, one wants to communicate to two, then it's going to do within the box, but it's going to do within the box. It will not come out because we are going to have a switch here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of connecting to outside switch, they will connect to internal switch, and then they will communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they will have one logical switch. I am going to explain more about this logical switch later. Okay, so he's also going to have one logical switch. They are going to connect to them, but they won't be able to exchange the information with each other. Why? Because they are not part of same broadcast domain, and in order to break the broadcast domain, we need router. And where is router? Router is outside. So though the router is outside, the black VM will go to approach to the router decision. They will take the routing decision, and then they will come back to same box, same server. This is a server, right? Big server. Then one will go and go to the router, take the decision. Router will take the decision, and they will come back to three. Even though they are part of same box, they have to go outside. So this is called as north and south. North south traffic pattern. So what is the drawback in north south traffic pattern? Do you see any drawback?
Yes,
Maybe
it will take time.
Yes,
to go.
So yeah,
yes.
Raju.
If,
It will take time to reroute the traffic.
Obviously, why to go outside, right? If you take the prime, if you take example of our personal life, so if we have to go to somewhere, right? So what we'll do, we'll first call to that place and check whether the person is available or not. If the person is available, then only you will go. Otherwise, the person will say that yeah, I'm not available. Then obviously you'll save your time by sitting at home only, right?
Yeah.
You are wasting your time, right, by checking, going to that place and checking whether person is available or not available. So what you are doing, you are minimizing the traffic. You are contributing, you are not losing your time, right, by going out. It's not a simple thing. You don't know whether the place is 1 kilometer away or 2 kilometer away, and how much fuel you are going to burn, what consumption will be there. So you are going to save your amount of traffic. Same applies here. If same applies in firewall, not here. So instead of going out and coming, yeah, why can't we go ahead and bring this router inside of this? You got it now? So what we are going to do now, we are going to bring this router inside of our server only. So this server is going to serve here. Do we need to go outside? This part of traffic is saved or not saved?
Say.
Yeah, it's saved.
Saved, right? So
Right.
it's not like that we don't have to go outside, but sometimes your outside traffic is something 80-20 rule, 20-80 rule. Have you heard about?
Yeah.
What is 80-20 rule? If you are working in infrastructure, then the 80% of traffic should be local, and the 20% will be core traffic.
Right.
If you are using data center, then 80% traffic will be your server, and the 20% will be internet. So that is how it divides. So here you are going to save this traffic by bringing that routing feature inside. But how to bring that router? Physical router you won't be going to bring it inside. Cisco is
We will create
purely,
workflow.
yeah, Cisco is purely a hardware device. Cisco will also not allow you to bring that routing functionality inside. So it's NSX who will help you to bring the routing functionality inside. It's NSX who will, it's VMware who will help you to bring the switching functionality inside. NSX is the one who will help you to bring firewalling functionality inside. NSX is the one who will help you to bring load balancing functionality inside of your box, inside of your server. You don't have to buy any extra hardware. Are you buying calculator nowadays?
No, we do have it in mobile or PCs.
We have in modem, that got virtualized, right? That's the reason you are not going to buy a calculator. Even if you talk about candles, are we buying candles? No, right?
Mhm.
Why? Because we are having it in our mobile. Even this is related to hardware, but we are having freely available in our mobile. There are lot many things which are available. Even you are not going to any ticket counter. So just think that bank, everything is there inside of virtual box. Banking is there in our pocket. The ticketing, airline, and all these things are virtually there in our pocket. So what we are doing, we are making a use of that, and then we are saving time and we are not going outside. Okay, so same thing, same concept applies here. By doing the virtualization of routing, switching, routing, firewalling, load balancing. Okay, now the advanced load balancing came in picture. Okay, so these things we are going to virtualize it, and then we are going to take benefit of that. So now the traffic from 1 to 3 will become east west. You got to know about north south, right? This was north south traffic when you are going to approach to outside, and this is called as east west. This is east and this is west. So if one is going to talk to 4, then this pattern is called as east west. I'm not saying that you will have only one server, you will have 10 servers. Okay, so it's not like that always traffic is expected within the devices. It will try his best to have the devices within one, but it's not possible because your capacity will not allow that. Okay, so you'll have multiple servers like this: server 1, server 2, server 3, server 4. Okay, you'll have ESX install on that, and then your VMs are distributed everywhere. Like 1 2 is here, so black VM 3 4 5 6. Okay, 5 6 will be there. Red VM 3 or 4 is here, so 5 6 will be here. Okay, we are not going to accommodate all the servers in one box. We are having multiple boxes. But how we are going to communicate with each other? We are going to use the VXLAN here. What is VXLAN? Okay, so you know VLAN, right, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
what is VLAN? So anyway, the concept north south and east west is clear now.
Yeah.
Any question, guys?
No.
Okay, so who said no? Shabib, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so what is north south is before, whenever, suppose this is the, let me rephrase this. Okay, so suppose you are having a server, solid and this line. Okay, so suppose you are having a small server, physical servers, 1 2, and the black as a 3. Okay, you are having these physical servers. Where servers goes, obviously servers will get connected to switch, correct? And where switch connects, router, correct? So every time if the server wants to communicate to 2, then it will go ahead and broadcast to switch, and with the help of VLAN, traffic will go here and it will accomplish the path. But one wants to communicate to the 3, that time it will go to router. Okay, router will have the inter-VLAN routing, trunking, and all these things, sub interface, whatever. And with the help of this, then routing decision is made and traffic will come back. Can't router 1 directly go and access 3? Is it possible, Shabib?
Yeah, if we are using layer 3 switch, then it is possible.
Yeah, so see, that's the reason I decouple it. Nowadays, no one is using router. Even if you are
Yes.
using layer 3 switch, then this will go in access layer, right? If you go through
Yes.
design, then this will go to access layer and then this will come in the distribution layer. Okay, so suppose this is the access switch and this is the distribution switch or router. Obviously, you have to approach router, right? Because in every location you won't be able to install layer 3 switch. So layer 3 switch is having his own place. If you follow the 3-tier architecture of Cisco, then access layer, distribution layer, and then core layer. In distribution layer, your routing will happen. Correct? So I'm following the same. This is something called as distribution layer, and this is my access layer, where the routing will not happen. So if I follow this architecture, then every time whenever I want to connect to 3, then I have to go to router and then come back. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is called as north-south traffic pattern. Every time one will go to router and then come back. So we have to avoid this situation. And what will be the situation when you go ahead and do the virtualize the compute? How you are going to virtualize the compute? You are going to buy servers 1, 2, 3, whatever, and then you are going to migrate the servers from here to there. Like this is 1, this is 2, and this will be 3. Obviously, they are these are virtual machines now. This is your server, right? This is your server, and these are your virtual machines. So what will happen? They will have their own switching system, which I am going to explain later. But just assume that the red is going to have a red switch, and black is going to have black switch. That is called as port group. But don't go into that mode. I'll explain you what is port group. So the red will connect to red switch, and the black will connect to black switch. The red one will tag to VLAN 10. The black one will tag to VLAN 20. And with the again your switch remains switch. Okay, your physical switch remains physical switch. Then there will be a trunk from the between your these devices. How to take a big link? Solid and this. There will be a trunk, right, between your servers and switch. We'll have a trunk link between servers and switch. So this trunk link will carry your VLAN 10 and 20 traffic, and obviously it will be handed over again to your router, and the router will also have trunk. Router will receive that information and do the routing. If one wants to communicate to 2, then traffic will not go outside, and within the box it will communicate. This is called as east-west traffic. One is east and this is west. Okay, if one wants to communicate to 2, do they have to come outside? No, right, Pradeep? If one server wants to communicate to second server, so they will come out of this server box. Imran? Imran and Pradeep, where are you guys? Or simply joined and muted? Okay, so once you guys are back, then do let me know, Imran and Pradeep. So if 10 wants to communicate to 20, yeah. So Pradeep, now if 10 wants to communicate to 20, do we need to go outside?
No, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Why?
yes.
Yes,
So,
right?
yes.
Why? Because we have a router here. We have L3 interface for black. There is a L3 interface for black. And there is another L3 interface for red. SVI, we will say here. So the red will go ahead and talk to their red SVI, and then they will do their inter-VLAN routing to black, and then they will communicate like this. So this is called as north, south, and this is called as east, west. But problem is with east, west, east, within the VLAN, they will do the east, west. They will not do across the VLAN. If one wants to communicate to 20, they have to go outside. So this is not the proper east-west. Okay. When the proper east-west will become, you have to bring this router functionality inside of this one. inside of this box. Okay, I'll place it here. Assume this as the inside only. Okay, now again within the box you will communicate, red will communicate to red and black will communicate to black. Now the east west will happen. 10 will go to 20, 20 will go to 10. Do you think now we have saved this traffic? Do we need this traffic anymore? No, right? Do you need this portion?
No.
Yeah, because it's happening within the device. How it will happen in other device? Suppose now you are having red server here, okay, and one black server here. Then do they need to come to this router? No, we are going to send one copy to them, router copy. Okay, I'm going to copy this router, and this router will sit inside of this device, and this router will go ahead and provide the routing for these two machines. They are having separate router, they are having separate router, although their gateway IP address will be one, because this router is not physical. This router is not there on top of virtual machine. This is the router's logical instance. Okay, so this explanation will not
One
fit
question.
into your mind directly. You'll say that how come you'll have two routers with one IP address? Correct. If this one wants to communicate to this black 3, then this router is going to help. This 4 wants to communicate to this 5, this router is going to help, and these are having same IP address.
Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
Both router has same gateway and IPs.
Yeah. So that is because they are logical instance. It's running as a instance. It's not running as a virtual machine or router. Okay. So this is where the software defined networking is different. So
And
generally
one more
it will
thing,
take time for
those are
digestion.
local to those servers only.
Yeah. If suppose you are having more servers, for example, I'll copy this. If you are having 5 physical servers, then you'll have 5 routers. Okay. So initially, you'll not digest this, that how come 5 routers will be there. This is the big difference. There is a difference between gas and what you call, we have that one, right? Gas के आगे क्या आता है?
Pipe.
Oven.
O1 is 2.
हाँ, अभी अब तुम ओवन में जाके मैनुअल सी you'll see that इसमें आग किधर जल रही है. You'll have that question, right?
Yes.
Without heating up, without any flame, how cooking is happening? So that is the same confusion here. Again, you'll have lots more confusions now in future. So this is called as software defined networking. And still, if you are working in legacy, then there will be a problem. After software defined networking, now automation is taking place. What is automation? Within a minute, you will deploy 10 routers and 50 machines and 60 load balancer and 70 something. You'll write a script. Okay, that is called as automation. So this way it's going to work. You are going to see step by step. I'm going to cover north, south, east, west, general terms. Later on, I'm going to show you how your router will be there installed in each server. What is this box? These box, Shabib? These red boxes?
Red boxes are sub interfaces like
No, physical
SVIs.
servers.
Yeah, physical servers are there.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So now east west, what will happen? Cisco now will take help from Cisco. Okay, otherwise will not take help from Cisco first. Then what will be the problem? If you don't take help from Cisco software defined networking, then your two switches which are connecting with each other, one port will go in block state. Correct or not? You have to individually manage this switch. You have to individually manage this switch. Okay, if you are not using Cisco software defined networking. Okay, and the load, now your servers are going to have more and more, they need more and more network capacity. They need more bandwidth. Now your servers are going to support 40 GB of card, 10 GB of cards. Then how come you are having old switches? You'll have to go for new brand or new other mechanism. So now you have to install software defined networking in conjunction with NSX. If you want, do it. Otherwise, you can go with your legacy. What NSX need? He needs only MTU, large MTU, jumbo packet. Jumbo packet, whenever it's releasing any packet from the server and coming inside, they need jumbo packet 9000 MTU. Okay. So if I go here, then I'll go for the Cisco topology. Cisco leaves, I'll go ahead and install. Cisco spines, I'll go ahead and install. And then I'll do this kind of connection. And then I'll connect my servers there. Okay. I'll attach my servers to Cisco, and Cisco is going to help me to forward the traffic from one to another. So now Cisco will become L2 and this NSX will become L3 because the routing is taken over by NSX. So whenever you see NSX and ACI working together, then one guy is frequently calling. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay. Only 1 minute, guys. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm back. Any question on east, west, and north, south? So if this one wants to communicate to this four, then it's going to communicate like this. They don't want any routing to be happen. Suppose, so that is the VXLAN. I'm going to explain it later. So what will happen if one wants to communicate to four? Okay, so they don't want any routing because it's part of same VLAN. So what will happen? It will be given to one of the tape address here. I'll explain VXLAN later, so don't get confused. Okay, and then they will come here. So generally what happen in our legacy environment, we'll go ahead and broadcast everywhere. We'll broadcast to this server, we'll broadcast to this server and that server. But in software defined network, this will not happen. There will be a controller sitting here. He knows wherever one is there, wherever 4 and 5 is sitting. Okay, this is 4, 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8 server, this is 9 server. So this controller knows 1, 2, and 3 are there on server 1. Then 4 and 5 virtual machine is with their IP address and MAC address, they are there on server 2. 6 and 7 is there on server 3. So if server one wants to communicate to server 4, then directly it will go ahead and query to the controller that I want to go to server 4. So this device is going to tell that, yeah, go to this second server, you will get the destination. So that is the magic and logic of software defined networking. Any question, guys?
Yes, I'm having a question.
Yeah.
So instead of vCenter, we are using NSXT or hello?
Yeah, you can ask. So
Yeah.
vCenter is replacement of vCenter is a replacement of NSX or no, right? So vCenter virtualize the compute and NSX virtualize the router. NSX is not going to look after these virtual machine. vCenter is going to look after. NSX is going to handle this component that is called as router. NSX is going to handle the firewall. NSX is going to handle the load balancer.
Okay, means it is going to handle
Yeah.
L3 feature
Yeah.
of this all. Okay,
Yes.
okay, got it.
To the control part because all the policies and things are defined over there. Please
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Actually, see, I'll tell you one thing. That's the reason first we teach vCenter and then we go for NSX. Because what happened, whenever you are entering into this environment, then there will be a lot of confusion with compute and network. that who is doing which part. So if you knows about compute, then you know the boundary. If you know the network, then now you knows who is handling what. So router and firewall and load balancer will be handled by NSX, and remaining virtual machine parts will be handled by vCenter. Okay, and this ACI fabric will provide L2 for you. What is L2? Taking traffic from one server and giving it to another server. Okay, so only layer 2. ACI is a good big product, but you are using it as a L2. Nowadays we are using airline for shipping, right? If you want to ship something to Delhi, then what you are using? Are you sending it through rail?
Mhm.
We are using airline, right?
Speed
Which is
matter.
very costly affair if you want to travel. But we are going to use it for our local purpose as well. Okay. So I explained you. So this is called as east-west traffic. If one wants to communicate to 6, then this is called as east-west. Okay. In data center, why we need east-west traffic? If you are clicking on any post of Facebook, then do you know there are hundreds of requests, more requests are getting generated east-west towards their applications. Even if you are watching YouTube video, there are multiple server, they are recording and catching your whatever you are doing. Whenever you are doing any pause, the advertisement, what you are looking for, what you're talking about, based on that they will generate the ads. Then if you are watching a clip, okay, then they will give it in graph. Okay, then your location will be tagged, and means there are lot many things are happening in background which we won't imagine. Okay, they are collecting our data. So what they are doing, your single request will generate more and more application, will trigger traffic towards more applications, and those applications are not resides doesn't resides on other part of the world. They are within their data center only. If your YouTube is on server 1, then obviously 2, 3, 4, 5 are also working, allowing you to log in. They are allowing you to generate the analytics, your logs. If you are deleting, if you are updating, editing, those all servers are there in line, which is going to help you. Your single click will allow you for them to work. Got my point? So that is why we need more east-west traffic robust way. In data center, north south traffic is very little. However, east west traffic is very heavy. Understand, guys?
Yes.
So coming back to my PPT, so that is called as east west. These are your servers, these are your leaf switches, these are your spine switches. So on your servers, you are going to have virtual machines. Those virtual machines are nothing but your routers. Okay. Moving ahead now, management plane, control plane, and data plane. Management plane, CLI, GUI. Control plane, you will have routing table, and in data plane, you are going to have physical ports. Traffic is coming from one interface going to another interface. Okay. Moving ahead now. So this is how the category is. Okay. So let's talk about the switching system now. So before this, let me explain the devices. Compute now. Okay. So what is compute? So you'll have a physical server, guys, one or two. Two physical servers are there. So generally, instead of installing any operating system on top of this server, we are going to install ESXi operating system. Agree with me? Okay. ESXi. ESXi. Okay. So this operating system will allow you to decouple the reservation of hardware, and then you can go ahead and based on your resource type, you can have small virtual machine. On top of this, you are going to install the server, and then you are going to install the your application. Okay. So this one will be your server, and then this is Windows box, or you can say simply that this is your Windows server, and you are running what you are running there, you are running FTP as an application. Then you will also have one small some big application. Then you are going to run the web application. Then you are going to have the third server. Then you are going to run it as a TFTP. Correct? Okay. So you can have the small and big virtual machines based on the capacity of your server. So these are called as virtual machines. Okay. You are going to have your own virtual machines. From next class or tomorrow onwards, I'm going to give you lab. Okay. I'm going to explain you how the lab is going to work and all those things. Correct. So these are your ESXi. Everyone is going to get his own lab. Okay. You will have two ESXi, which will be, I'm going to trigger it through a script. Then you are going to configure these ESXi's, and then you are going to have your virtual machines. So you'll come to know how the virtual machine is. So inside of these routers, you are going to have the virtual machine. Let me go ahead and delete it. So once you install the ESXi, you are going to have your own virtual machine. So you'll have Windows virtual machine. You'll also have the Linux virtual machine. Whatever version you want, you can do it. Okay. And then in order to configure, means in order to manage them, suppose you are having 3 virtual machines here and 3 virtual machines there. So their management plane is not centralized yet. What do you mean by centralizing the management plane? Centralizing management plane means by sitting at one place, you are looking at all these servers. Suppose you are having 2 servers. If I ask you to manage this server, this black virtual machine, you have to log on to ESXi machine first, ESXi UI first, and then you have to manage this virtual machine. Okay. If you want to go for second ESXi, then you have to log on to second ESXi and then do it. Instead of that, we are going to install a vCenter. vCenter is nothing but a virtual machine or appliance. Okay. So this vCenter is going to take control of both the ESXi. Okay. And by sitting here, you are going to take control of both ESXi, and you will come to know that there are 6 virtual machines. Now sitting at vCenter, you will decide that, yeah, this black virtual machine is having some load. I'm going to move it from here to there. This is called as vMotion. Without any disturbance, you will go ahead and do this. Okay. So this is called as compute, and this is vCenter. Any question, guys?
So one question, in this scenario, where is control plane? In the vCenter, you are saying like
Okay.
management plane. So where is
Yeah.
control plane?
Okay, good question. So here the thing is, every technology is having control plane, management plane, and data plane in our infrastructure, you can say. Okay. So where is control plane? So management plane is here. vCenter comes in
Management plane.
management plane, correct? Then data plane, obviously ESXi is running the this one, these virtual machines. So this comes in data plane. Okay. And then control plane means how this VM is behaving. They don't need any centralized, means these servers are individual contributors. Okay, they are not listening to any other. Simply they are either giving traffic out or taking traffic in. They are not talking to each other. Do you think we need control plane here?
No.
This control plane is something where you'll go ahead and guide it, right? Means these virtual machines are not talking to each other, or are they talking? They are having individual operating system, right? Linux or this one. They are having different mechanisms. Something compute is having different mechanism. So, but where is the control plane? Any idea, guys? Laudim, Priyanka?
In the hypervisor ESXi
Correct.
data
Hypervisor,
plane.
yeah, hypervisor is doing the control plane. He's controlling all the resources and all. If hypervisor is having any problem, then it will ask vCenter that, yeah, this VM is having more, you utilizing my more bandwidth. Then vCenter will decide management way that, okay, let's go ahead and move this VM out of this box and keep it here. Okay, so management plane, data plane, and you can see control plane. Fine, guys. But their control plane is not similar to our control plane. Our control plane generates more decision making definitions, ARP table, MAC table, and other statistics. However, compute controller is not that. They are generating CPU, they are generating graphs of memory and all. Okay. So now, guys, these are ESXi box. So first, my request you is to first get command on compute. You'll have your ESXi, you'll have your vCenter. But let's go ahead and see before going for ESXi how you can do it on your laptop. You have your laptop, guys. Okay.
Yes.
On your laptop, what you can do is you can install one Windows workstation. Have you heard about Windows workstation? Anyone? Priyanka, Imran, Pradeep?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me show you directly. I have lab running already. Let me
It's
go
in
ahead and
type 2
see.
hypervisor.
Yeah, type 2 hypervisor, you can say.
Yeah. Yeah. It's running on our operation. Okay.
Okay, correct. Yeah, you're going correct. So, guys, this is your physical hardware, correct? On your physical hardware, what you are installing? Operating system. So, yeah, Sadi, what operating system you are having on your laptop?
In the Windows Hyper-V,
On what operating system you are having on your laptop?
Windows
Windows 10.
Windows Hyper-V किसने बोला था?
Hyper-V, मतलब विंडोज के अंदर एक Hyper-V ऑप्शन आता है वर्चुअलाइजेशन इनेबल करने के लिए.
नो नो, वो अलग है ना, वो ठीक है. विंडोज Hyper-V वो अलग है, ठीक है. विंडोज
हाइपर
ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम
हाइपर भी तो VMware का ये है ना, मतलब माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का प्रोडक्ट है
राइट.
वर्चुअलाइजेशन के लिए.
So that is VT technology he's talking about, which that is different. I will talk about. This is your laptop and this is your Windows operating system. So your Windows operating system will take full control of your hardware, CPU, RAM, and memory. ESXi will also take full control of this one, but ESXi will give option to distribute it. If your ESXi is having suppose 100 GB of RAM, so 10 GB इसको दे दिया. 16 होता है, 10 नहीं पकड़ते अपन. 16 इसको दे दिया, देन 8 इसको दे दिया, 32 इसको दे दिया, फिर 16 इसको दे दिया, लाइक दिस, राइट? विंडोज कैसे करता है? एनी आइडिया, गाइस? इफ यू आर रनिंग मोर एप्लीकेशन, पहली बात तो विंडोज विल नॉट अलाउ यू टू इंस्टॉल अनदर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम. क्या देगा? एक एक हार्डवेयर पे आप लैपटॉप पे 2 ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम चालू कर सकते हैं.
नहीं,
नहीं.
फुल कंट्रोल लेता है पूरा हार्डवेयर को.
ठीक है. और जो भी कर सकते हैं ना, वो दैट इज समथिंग एक्सेप्शनल केस. ओके, यू विल हैव ड्यूअल ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम.
Dual OS.
Yeah, so those are exceptional case. Those are not standard one. So आप क्या करते हैं? You'll install one operating system and on top of operating system you'll run application. कौन सा application run करेंगे आप? Chrome, Excel, Paint, XYZ, ABCD. You'll run multiple operating system. तो ये क्या करेगा Windows? ये applications को RAM और CPU चाहिए, correct? So ये किससे लेंगे? Windows से. Windows कहाँ से लेगा? Hardware से. ये सबको अपना सब डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे यहाँ से. एंड हु इज गोइंग टू ट्रैक दिस? टास्क मैनेजर. करेक्ट और नॉट?
यस, करेक्ट.
ये देखो, ये टास्क मैनेजर. दिस टास्क मैनेजर इज गोइंग टू डू इट फॉर यू. आपको सीपीयू, मेमोरी जो भी है, ये कौन करेगा हैंडल? दिस डिवाइस.
परफॉर्मेंस सेक्शन बताता है.
परफॉर्मेंस में आपको सब पता चल जाएगा कि कितना मेमोरी है और कितना है सीपीयू. ठीक है ना गाइस? ये पूरा मेमोरी कितना ये ईट अप कर रहा है, डिस्क कितना ले रहा है, वाईफाई कितना ले रहा है. ठीक है. सो नाउ दिस इज योर MS पेंट. ये मेरा MS पेंट है, ये मेरा एक्सेल है, ये मेरा क्रोम है. दिस इज माय टीम्स एप्लीकेशन. और यहाँ पे मैं आउटलुक कर रहा हूँ. कुछ भी अलग अलग. सिमिलर वे देयर इज अ वन हाइपरवाइजर, यू कैन गो अहेड एंड इंस्टॉल इट. तो इसको थोड़ा मुझे बड़े में डालना पड़ेगा, मैं इसको ऐसे करता हूँ. ठीक है. सो इसको बोलते हैं वर्क स्टेशन. क्या बोलते हैं? वर्क स्टेशन. वर्क स्टेशन का आपको एक VMware एक एप्लीकेशन देगा, ये एप्लीकेशन के ऊपर आप जाओ और यहाँ पे आप डाल दो अलग अलग लिनक्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, सर्वर ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, एबीसीडी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। व्हाट इट, ये आप विंडोज डाल दो, इसमें लिनक्स डाल दो और इसमें कुछ भी डाल दो, लिनक्स डाल दो। ठीक है, आप ऐसे भी कर सकते हो। सो दिस इज फॉर टेस्टिंग पर्पज ओनली। तो आपको पता है ना कि एक विंडोज के अंदर आप मल्टीपल विंडोज चला सकते हैं। किसको फर्स्ट टाइम पता चला और किसको पहले ही पता है? सबको पता है, ठीक है। ये अगर आपको प्रैक्टिकली देखना है तो आई डू हैव दिस सर्वर हियर, ये एप्लीकेशन है, ये मेरा सर्वर है। इसके अंदर यू कैन सी दिस इज माय विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। ये विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में मैंने एक एप्लीकेशन डाला है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज वर्क स्टेशन। ठीक है, ये वर्क स्टेशन में आई कैन गो अहेड एंड क्रिएट वर्चुअल मशीन्स। वो कैसे बनाना है वर्चुअल मशीन में? फाइल में जाऊंगा, एक वर्चुअल मशीन बनाऊंगा, मैं बोलूंगा कि भाई आई वांट टू क्रिएट वर्चुअल मशीन। वो बोलेगा ठीक है मुझे उसका विंडोज का ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम दे दो। तो मैं बोलूंगा ठीक है आई डू हैव दैट ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, ये ले लो विंडोज का ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। ठीक है, ऑब्वियसली वी नीड सम आईएसओ फाइल, राइट। वो बोलेगा कि ये क्या है इसमें इंस्टॉल। एक मिनट, मुझे चेक करने तो क्या दे रहा हूँ मैं उसको, विंडोज ही दे रहा हूँ ना। ठीक है, जनरली मैं आईएसओ में शेयर करता हूँ, ये कहाँ पर है? नहीं ये नहीं है, मेरे पास दूसरी जगह शेयर्ड है, ये यहाँ पे। ठीक है, तो उसने डिटेक्ट कर लिया कि आप क्या इंस्टॉल करने वाले हो, विंडोज 10। नेक्स्ट मैं बोलूंगा ये मेरा टेस्ट मशीन है, टेस्ट विंडोज कॉपी, जो वीएम बनाते हैं ना वर्चुअल मशीन। सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी योर फर्स्ट वर्चुअल मशीन। तो पहले आप आपके वर्क स्टेशन पे भी इसका प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो। तो मैं बोलूंगा ठीक है कितने जीबी सिंगल फाइल बनाओ या डबल फाइल, कितना लगता है उसको? तो एज पर वीएम के रिकमेंडेशन से वो बोलेगा कि मुझे 60 GB चाहिए, तो ठीक है 60 GB ले ले, सिंगल हार्ड डिस्क बनाओ। ठीक है, देन वो बोलेगा कि भाई आपको रैम वगैरह कुछ ट्वीक करना है क्या? तो रैम मीन्स देखो यहाँ पे यू आर गोइंग टू गेट ऑप्शंस, तो कितना आपको चाहिए? अब मेरे पास 16 GB है तो मैं उसको ओवर तो नहीं दे सकता 128 GB, तो मैं बोलूंगा 2 GB रैम चाहिए। वो बोलेंगे प्रोसेसर कितने चाहिए? तो ये जो मुबिन वाज सेइंग दैट Hyper-V you have to install, so this is Intel का, अगर if you are having Intel CPU then you have to use this VT technology, okay, virtualization. And if you are using AMD then you have to enable this one, okay. So ये होने के बाद you are going to have your CD drive, so obviously CD drive में हमने उसको path दे दिया। You are going to have your network cards to that virtual machine, all these things, sound card, graphic card, जो भी आपको डालना है आप डाल सकते हो। ठीक है, then I'm going to finish it and then I'm going to start the installation. The current amount of space on hard disk is not enough, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ उसको उसका एरिया ये चेंज करता हूँ इंस्टॉलेशन का। इसका हार्ड डिस्क में जगह नहीं है बता रहा है वो। ठीक है, I'll go ahead and do it on something other hard drive। क्यों नहीं है उसमें? ठीक है, जब तक हम बाद में देखते हैं उसको, तो मैं यहाँ पे जाके उसको इंस्टॉल कर दूंगा। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट एंड फिनिश। अभी मेरा एक व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू, आई एम गोइंग टू इंस्टॉल वन वर्चुअल मशीन, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज वर्चुअल मशीन। विंडोज का डाल रहा हूँ मैं, ये मेरा मशीन है फिजिकल, उस पे विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है। आप आपके मल्टीपल क्रोम वगैरह एप्लीकेशंस यू कैन गो अहेड एंड हैव, एंड ये वर्क स्टेशन के अंदर हाइपरवाइजर के अंदर यू आर गोइंग टू हैव विंडोज वर्चुअल मशीन। सो दिस इज योर वर्चुअल मशीन इट्स गोइंग टू क्रिएट। और ये वर्चुअल मशीन आपको फील वैसे ही देगा जैसे आपके लैपटॉप और डेस्कटॉप पे इंस्टॉल्ड है। ठीक है, और अगर आप सर्वर बेस्ड ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डाल सकते हो देन यू कैन गो अहेड एंड कॉन्फ़िगर इट एज अ वेब सर्वर, एप्लीकेशन सर्वर और व्हाटएवर एफटीपी सर्वर, व्हाटएवर यू वांट। ओके, सो यू कैन डू इन दैट वे। सो अभी हमने क्या बनाया, हमारा विंडोज ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बनाया। नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू इंस्टॉल। ये देखो मैं इंस्टॉल कर रहा हूँ, ऐसे ही होता है ना हमारे जब इंस्टॉल करते हैं हम। तो इफ यू वांट टू हैव लिनक्स तो इन पैरेलल मैं लिनक्स भी चलाता हूँ। मैं फाइल में जाऊंगा, अगेन इसको शेल बोलते हैं। ठीक है, मैं लूंगा नेक्स्ट, अभी मैं इसको दूसरा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम दूंगा। ठीक है, या टेल मी, मैं इसको उबुंटू देता हूँ। ठीक है, नहीं तो स्लैक्स देता हूँ, एकदम छोटा सा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम। ठीक है, तो मैं बोलूंगा उसको कि भाई ये लिनक्स का ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है और ये कुछ कहाँ गए मॉडल तो दिख नहीं रहे, मैं ये ले लेता हूँ जब तक, ठीक है। या एनी क्वेश्चन गाइस? ये वाला ये ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम फिनिश, ठीक है। ये पैरेलल में चालू हो गया, मैं इसको बूट भी करता हूँ, राइट क्लिक और पावर ऑन। तो मैं क्या बना रहा हूँ, एक विंडोज मशीन बना रहा हूँ और एक लिनक्स मशीन बना रहा हूँ। कहाँ पर? मेरे लैपटॉप में और डेस्कटॉप में, ठीक है। तो इसको फिर जैसे हमारा होता है ना इंस्टॉलेशन प्रोसीजर, यू हैव टू फॉलो दैट। देखो ये पूरा इंस्टॉल वैसे हो रहा है, बाद में जब इंस्टॉल होने के बाद ये चलेगा, ठीक है। तो दिस इज हाउ कंपनी में ऐसे ही होता है और स्लैक्स में भी चल रहा है। तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, आई डोंट हैव प्रोडक्ट की, नेक्स्ट करके फिनिश करते हैं। क्या इंस्टॉल करना है, होम प्रो वगैरह जो भी आप सेलेक्ट कर दो, देन यू कैन गो अहेड एंड इंस्टॉल इट। सी में उसको फॉर्मेट मारेंगे, जैसे जैसे भी आपका वहां पे होता है, कहाँ पर आपके फिजिकल ड्राइव पे आप जैसे करते हो फिजिकली, वैसे ही यहाँ पे हो रहा है। ये देखो ये दूसरा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम पेन ड्राइव लेवल का ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है, ये भी बूट होगा लिनक्स का। इफ यू गो बैक टू माई दिस वन, नाउ आई इंस्टॉल वन विंडोज एंड वन लिनक्स। कहाँ पे इंस्टॉल किया मैंने? वर्क स्टेशन सॉफ्टवेयर में। सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज वर्चुअल मशीन, ठीक है। ये आपका हुआ फिजिकल मशीन और ये हो गया आपका वर्चुअल मशीन। अभी ये आप इंडस्ट्री ग्रेड पे नहीं कर सकते, विल नॉट हैव दैट मच ऑफ कैपेसिटी कैपेबिलिटी डू इट, और इंडस्ट्री के सर्वर रन नहीं कर सकते आप। व्हाट माय पॉइंट? ये देखो ये आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम तो रेडी भी हो गया। ये स्लैक्स का एकदम पेन ड्राइव लेवल का छोटा लैब का ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम है, विच आई एम यूजिंग फॉर माई लैब्स। You'll have Chrome here, you'll have terminal, network configuration, web browser, आप सब मिलेगा आपको, ठीक है। इसको आईपी देना पड़ेगा, वो बहुत दूसरा कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इज स्टिल पेंडिंग। सो शुड आई गो अहेड एंड टर्मिनेट दीज टू प्रैक्टिकल्स, बिकॉज ये आपको अभी जरूरत नहीं है। एंड ये तो हो गया आपका, इसको टाइप 1 बोलेंगे 2 बोलेंगे सभी?
Type 2, I think so.
ये मेरा भी कंफ्यूजन ही होता है उस पर, टाइप 1 है कि 2 है, ठीक है। तो गाइज ये वर्क स्टेशन है, दिस इज हाउ यू कैन डू एट योर होम लैब। बट इफ यू वांट टू डू इट इन प्रोडक्शन, सो यू हैव टू वैकेट एंड allocate full server, ठीक है। सो सेम वे आई डिड इट इन माय लैब। मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मैं टर्मिनेट मार दूं, इसको कर दूं, ठीक है। तो आप इसमें मल्टीपल ऑप्शंस है, आप ग्रेसफुल भी शट डाउन कर सकते हैं, जैसे आपका लैपटॉप करते हैं ना, यू विल गो टू योर लैपटॉप शट डाउन, यू कैन डू दैट वे। और यू कैन अनप्लग भी कर सकते हो उसको, पावर ऑफ, सस्पेंड और रीसेट, सेम है तीनों का। ये ग्रेसफुल है और ये हार्ड है, तो मैं इसको हार्ड में करता हूँ, पावर ऑफ। इसको भी मैं हार्ड में करता हूँ, पावर ऑफ, ठीक है। या मैं इसको ऐसे कर सकता हूँ कि विंडोज शट डाउन आराम से करो, गेस्ट उसका जो भी प्रोसीजर है उससे। लेकिन देयर इज अ टूल कॉल्ड एज, वन ऑफ एक टूल होता है उसमें, दैट आई विल शो यू लेटर। सो वो टूल उसमें इंस्टॉल चाहिए, ठीक है ना। सो दिस इफ यू वांट टू डिलीट दिस, आई विल गो अहेड एंड राइट क्लिक मैनेज, और मैं डिलीट भी कर सकता हूँ इसको पूरा। सो ये अननेसेसरी मेरा डिस्क स्पेस खाएगा, आई विल गो अहेड एंड डिलीट। सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू मूव टुवर्ड्स सर्वर vCenter अप्रोच। तो तुम्हारे vCenter से पहले मेरा भी खुद का, आई ऑल्सो हैव vCenter, ओके। सो उसका एड्रेस है 192.168.1.100। I don't know if I am running that server or not. I think yes, I am running. Okay, guys, I don't know if I am running that server or not. I need to check. So मुझे चेक करना होता है, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, एक एप्लीकेशन जाता हूँ, एप्लीकेशन को पूछता हूँ कि कौन कौन चालू है। तो मुझे 2 को रन करना था, मैंने गलती से 1 को रन कर दिया, ठीक है। I'll go ahead and run all this. Give me only 1 minute, or should we take 5 minutes of break, guys?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's come back at what time? Let's come back at
10:42.
10:45. Fine.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है guys, bye.
11:15 only, right, sir?
क्या मैडम?
We have class till 11:15 only, right? Or are we planning to extend?
सी डेली हर वीक में कितने 2 घंटे लेना है 3 घंटे लेना है, ऑल यू हैव टू डिसाइड.
4 घंटे ना, right? Saturday, Sunday 2 hours, so 4 घंटे.
सैटरडे संडे को अगर लॉन्ग भी रहा तो चलेगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
लॉन्ग में एक्चुअली मुझे थोड़ा इशू है, इसलिए मैं
तो
थोड़ा
ठीक है, एक काम करते हैं, मैंने 15 मिनट, एक काम करते हैं 9
अच्छा मिल जाएगा।
से 11:30, ठीक है, 2.5 घंटा.
ओके, ठीक है.
ठीक है ना, क्योंकि अगर कम करेंगे ना देन अगेन वी हैव टू गो फॉर 3 मंथ्स, राइट. तो एक काम करते हैं, अभी हम मिलते हैं 9 से 11:30 करते हैं, 2.5 घंटे का, क्योंकि उतना इनफ नहीं होगा 2 घंटे करना.
ठीक है.
अभी एक काम करते हैं, अभी हम 10:45 को मिलते हैं, चलेगा?
ठीक है.
यस.
राइट. सो 10:45 को वापस आ जाओ सब, देन विल डिस्कस दिस पॉइंट. ओके गाइस.
ओके.
Okay, till then, bye.
Hope everyone is back.
Yep, I am.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm here.
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So let me explain about lab now. Saladdin, are you back? Okay. So this is one of ping utility. You can use it in your organization as well. If you want to do a simultaneous, continuous, and multiple pings, you can simply give the inputs and then you can go ahead and run it. So automatically you will come to know that if it's pinging or not. Okay. So why my vCenter is not pinging? Okay. Okay. I'll check that. So guys, I do have physical 8 servers in my lab. Okay. So this is first time I'm going to I'm going to take control of my ESXi, which is hosted on physical. Username and password generally I keep default. Okay. So this is the UI of your server. What server I'm talking about? This server. This ESXi is there, right? So if I want to take control directly, I can hit to the IP address of the ESXi and I can take control. So this is where I have taken the control. You can see that it's having virtual machines. Okay. Only 1 minute. 11.100 IP I have given, not 1.100. Okay. So my vCenter is ready, but before this, I'll go here. So this is the view of my ESXi. Okay. So if I click on host, so you can access through UI as well as CLI as well as DC UI, means direct console of one option is there, which I'll show you. So here you can see I'm having this much of CPU. The memory is 64 GB. The storage is this much. Okay. I'm using full SSD NVMe. So the storage performance will be great. I'm having i7 machines. Even I'm having the big server level machines as well out of 8. 5 are i7 and one is a server which costs more than 1 or 1.5 lakh to me. So like this, I'm having something, I invested something 5 lakh rupees in this lab. Okay. So you can see here, it's using CPU, memory and storage. And yeah, you can see the configuration here. Okay. These are the Dell Optiplex servers. And now you can see here that it's also having some options to tweak the configuration of the server and configure the timing and all these things. And you can also monitor the resources of the server. There's who is taking how much of memory and bandwidth. Okay. Server performance, hardware performance, you can monitor it here. You can also do a virtual machine check. So these are the VMs, virtual machines are installed here. And this is my main server, which I'm going to access. And this is the storage. Local SSD storage is there. And this is the networking part. So I have multiple VLANs. So don't means I'm not just, this is a simple go through. Later I'm going to have the deep dive in this one, how you are going to have virtual switches, physical NIC cards, VNIC, all these things we are going to see. So first, now I logged on to this ESXi server. Now I'm going to log on to this vCenter server. From this vCenter, we are going to manage multiple ESXi. So this is again a quick overview. It's not a full overview. So don't think that this is the enough by which we got. There are a lot many things to do. What's happening? Okay, I'll take control through another host that is called as T1, I guess. Yeah. So you guys are going to access this server through this path. Where is my 1.11? I have dual monitor, so you will not see what I'm doing on next monitor. Okay. So this is my server. This is the lab server which you are going to take control of. Okay. So this is having DNS, DSCP, IIS and other protocols installed. Even your user ID, I'm going to create it from here. You can see DNS is also there. So in this DNS, everyone is going to have lab. So your lab naming, I'm going to give it here. Do you see here? Lab. Okay. I'm going to allocate one lab to you. So whatever last class labs are there, I'm going to delete all those. So you are having DNS, DSCP, and AD server is also there. So if you have submitted the form, then based on that, I'm going to create the usernames for you. So you can see multiple other users are there. I'll go ahead and create one for you. Okay, and I'll share the credential. Credential will be common only. So now I'm going to access the vCenter. See, this is my master vCenter. Okay, I'll give access to this master vCenter only. No issue, but not now, later on. Okay, so this is first time compute engineers they used to log on to this vCenter. They don't log on to each server individually. They will log on to this one. You can see you can see these are my total 8 servers. They are having different capacity. I have not run all the servers at once. I only 3 or 5 I'm running, 1, 2, 3, and 6 and 7. You can see it's also having 64 GB of RAM. This one is having 128 GB of RAM and multiple things. Okay. So here you can see no need to individually log on to servers. If you want to individually log on to one server, 192.168, 102, and then you have to manage. So that is difficult task. So what happens, by sitting at this place, you can go ahead and manage your servers. See, now 5 to 8 servers are there in my control using single plane. This is called as management plane. What my point? By sitting here, I'll come to know the CPU utilization of that host. I'll come to know that how many VMs are there on that host. So our candidates, students used to create the virtual machine. You'll see all the virtual machines. Okay. And generally, I trigger this virtual machine through scripting. I'm not doing it individually. Okay. Only vCenters you guys are going to install from scratch. So every student will get one folder and your name will be tagged here. So what will happen? You'll go to inside of your name and then you will have your ESXi1 and ESXi2 based on your lab number. Then you have your NSXT manager, and then you will also install your vCenter by yourself. Only do these two things I'm going to trigger through scripting. You guys are going to do configuration by your own, and this NSXT manager you guys are going to install by your own. vCenter you are going to install by your own. Okay, so but for me, I'll have my own lab, so I'll destroy this, and for you, I'll start it from scratch. Okay, and you'll get this RDP access. So we are not going to I'm going to give you RDP access, and I'll going to give you lab number so you can access and go ahead and access your resource based on lab number. Okay, and then if you also see here I'll take you through this, not now. First we'll go through ESXi. Okay, how to install the ESXi. Second thing here is how to access the lab. Okay, for that there is an Excel sheet which I'll share with you guys. This will be your Excel sheet which is having the lab details. You can see it. So here, based on your names, I'm going to allocate the username, password, and lab number. Okay, you can RDP to this one. Can someone please try? I'll share this information with you. You can go ahead and hit to this one. Anyone? Are you able to access that?
Yes, it is asking password, username and password.
Username and password, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have one username and password for you. So it will be like this.
Sabir, can you please create my account for lab access?
Yes, I'll do it. Okay. So I'm going to delete lab for others because I had to differentiate where my old students are there, they are continuing my other course. So then I don't have to delete and give another number for you guys. So what I'll do is I'll update this lab. First, uh, I have to check if I can delete lab for them, but yeah, I'll give access, not an issue. Mobile shake and all. Even I lost this information. What I'll do is I have to duplicate it. Okay. So what I'll do here, these usernames I'm going to create. Lab numbers, I'll give you something uh, 13 onwards. Okay. I don't want to use someone's lab. If someone wants to continue their lab, then it will be a problem for me. So what I'll do is I'll check with them and then I'll allocate the lab number. Fine. Not now, later on.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Okay.
Second thing is I'm going to create username for right away. Mubin Sheikh. Okay. So let me go ahead and create for you guys. I should have done this in this one, but I'm going to give you demos. Okay. So in that purpose, I had to do it in front of you, so you guys will come to know about that. So here, this is server. You guys can go ahead and manage it. Okay. So here I'm going to create a user, new user, Mubin Sheikh. Okay. The username will be same. Next, the password I'm going to use always VMware1, and I expect you to use the same password in your labs. What happen, if someone wants to join troubleshooting, then he will simply come and then use. Otherwise, if you keep giving other name, then it will be a problem. So Mubin Sheikh will be username. Okay. So I have done this, and then I'll join this Mubin Sheikh with one of the group. Add, find group, and then he will be part of one of group. I'm going to create August, but for now I'll add him into NSX June group. Okay, Mubin, can you try Mubin Sheikh at cloudsnetworking.com.in?
Okay, just I'm trying, sir.
And I'm going to give this information to you. I'm going to save all the information in sheet. Clouds Networking.
Yes. Yes, just got the access, sir.
Okay, 1 minute, guys. Yeah, guys, I'm back. So are you able to access?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, soon I'll do it background work. So I got to know that he is able to access now, Mubin, right? Same way, I'll go ahead and create it for others. That is the some background task I have to do. Then you have to access this through this sheet. The sheet information I'll go ahead and share with you guys. So you have to access this RDP. Username will be, you can refer this one, August class, right? August Chobis Lab Master. And I'll go ahead and delete this information. I have to renew it. Then you'll have your this is the internal. This I'll explain later. If you want to access my master vCenter, then you have to access this URL, and this will be username and password. Okay, but don't do it now. Don't go for this access. Simply take RDP, and then I'll show you what to do next. And this will be user's name. Lab information will be given later. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start with Mubin's lab. Okay, I'm going to do the practical with Mubin's lab now. So I think Jawad is not going to access it, so I'll give lab 13 to Mubin. Okay, so first what I have to do here, this I'll share with you guys. Copy link. In sharing, I enable that restricted to people's. Okay. So I'll share the links with you. Whenever you access, I'll get it for approval. I'll approve it. Fine. So I'll give this information over chat as well. You can copy it. Otherwise, I'll give it on WhatsApp. So let's talk more about practical. Okay. So one more thing. Let's also talk about our timings. Okay. So Priyanka was having this one question, right? Priyanka, if we continue for 2 hours, then what will happen? In order to complete 30 hours, I have to have increased two more batches, two more classes, right? So it's best that we'll wrap it up within 2 months, or 2 months, 1 week, or 2 weeks. If we go for 2 hours, then it will stretch more, right? Means
Yeah, then how
it will,
about uh,
yeah,
8:30 to 11?
8:30. Guys,
I
you guys
wouldn't
are,
have been, I wouldn't have been saying this, but I do have some responsibilities, and
yeah, yeah,
that's why I'm just
I
I'm
got
so
it.
sorry,
I
but
got it. Yeah. So, guys, you guys are available 8:30 or 9 is fine.
Yes,
Otherwise,
I'm
Priyanka, what you can do, you
Yes,
can also watch
8:30 is fine.
8:30 is fine. Okay. Salahuddin,
fine.
9 p.m.
Shabib,
9 p.m.
Pradeep.
I'm fine with 8:30.
Okay. Okay. We'll,
ओके सर, या फिर ऐसा कीजिए, आप 9 से 11:30 12 ले लीजिए, मैं 11 बजे ड्रॉप होके बाकी का
एक
सुबह
घंटा,
कंटिन्यू कर
yeah,
लूंगी।
recording you can cover up, right?
हाँ
Yeah.
हाँ
और वो रिकॉर्डिंग भी आप 2x में भगा के जल्दी से भी देख सकते हो। और मेरे साथ
या
रिकॉर्डिंग, मेरा वीडियो डबल एक्स में भगाओगे तो ऑलरेडी मैं बहुत फास्ट बोलता हूँ, वो तुमको 1.5 पे देखना पड़ेगा, राइट?
I do have experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So we'll continue with 9 because that will be a standard time, and then
Mhm.
no one will face problem. Okay. So first I'll continue with Mubin's lab. Okay. Mubin Sheikh. So let's go for that. Lab number 13. So here, if you guys see lab number 13, someone else is there. Let me go ahead and delete his resources first. Okay. So who is there at lab number 13? Jawad. So the Jawad is having some devices which is there on 108. Okay. I'll delete these resources, but let's delete Sunita's lab then. Okay. I'll give lab number 14. So I'll go ahead and delete it. Delete from disk. Sunita. Actually, Sunita, she's active member. Let's delete someone's lab because I had to ask
Because
that
yeah, she's working
lady,
hard.
right?
Who was
I'd say
there?
that.
Yeah, she's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this Mohammad Ansari, I'm going to delete for Mohammad Ansari. Even he has not created his B center. Okay. So I'll go ahead and delete lab for this one, and then I'll give lab 15 to Mubin. Okay. So for Mubin's sake, I'm going to trigger one script now. So we'll have lab 15. So simply I'll go to my server here, and I have one PowerShell script. So I don't need to go ahead and do it manually. So simply there are lots many scripts which I'm having nowadays. So generally, see, slowly you guys have to move towards scripting. Otherwise, you will be outdated. Okay. Believe me or no, but things are going to happen. Okay. So don't take it easily. In future, whenever you cross your 10 or 15 years, then your profile will be there in question. If you want to have it, then do it. Otherwise, leave it. Okay. So here I'm going to have the new server as 11.100. This will be password. And I'm going to, which lab I have given? 15, right?
15.
Okay. So I'm going to have lab 15, 107 pay. And then the number will be 1 and 2, lab 15. Okay, only these many changes I had to do, and simply I had to run the script. Okay, every time I'll go ahead and do it. So I'll run this script. So automatically it will deploy two ESXi for moving. Okay, this is only thing I'm going to do. Yeah, this deployment is going on. You can go ahead and watch it on your ESXi. Do you see here it's running? See, so now you'll Mubin will have something inside of his folder in next 2 minutes. So first thing I was saying here, if you come back to this one, I told you that go ahead and install workstation. This is the one of hypervisor. Second hypervisor is this one. So now you have physical server, and then on top of it you are going to have ESXi. Okay, so generally in your office your ESXi is installed directly on your hardware, on top of your hardware. But though we are in lab, what I am doing, I am installing ESXi as a virtual machine. So this will create confusion for you, but later I'll go ahead and crack it for you. Okay, so this is nested lab, right? Lab inside of lab. My physical lab is there. How my physical labs look like, I'll show you. I'm having total number of 8 servers. They are having more than 200 or 300 GB of RAM. Okay, so the detail I also have. So like this, you'll have something 8 servers lined up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so this I'm going to copy. Okay, I have to line up 8 servers. I'm having one Cisco GB switch, one GB switch, and they all are connected as a trunk link here. Got it? And I also have one i5 virtual one physical box, which is also connected here. Okay, so generally I used to log on to this server. This is having name 51.51. So this server is called as 101. This server 102. This is 10.192.168. 1.103, 104, 105, 6, and 7, and 8. Okay, these are all are your servers. So what's happening, as of now I am deploying two ESXi. So everyone is having ESXi on top of it, and there is one vCenter installed inside of this as a virtual machine, but I'll place it here, and this vCenter is managing all these devices. Okay, by sitting on vCenter I am controlling all 8 boxes. Okay, so this is called as compute virtualization. So I'll go back to the device here. This is going on. Okay, so yeah, this is going on. So here you can see by sitting here I'm managing all these 8 boxes. True. Okay, second thing here you can see now I'm correlating these things practically, right? So in your office also you'll have vCenter, and you'll have 10 or 20 ESX boxes, and on top of this your office is going to install one DNS server, one DSCP server, one AD server, one any other server, application server, web server, like this. Okay, and what vCenter is going to do, vCenter is going to distribute the load among all. So that is called as, there are multiple technologies which I will show you one by one. So but now first you'll come to know about ESXi and virtual machine. That is your first step. Once you cross first step, then I'll explore more on vCenter, then I'll explore more on switching, then we'll move towards NSX. Then once after 6 session or 7 session, now NSX will start. Okay, that time you'll get familiar with these things, and then you'll realize that yeah, vCenter is really helpful whenever you are going for NSX terminology. Any question, guys? Okay, so this is the vCenter UI, but now I am accessing, then don't think so that you are I'm going to explain it one by one, all these tabs, everything. Okay, most of the things. So why it got stuck, any reason, let's go ahead and see. On 51, could not find folder with lab 15. Okay, so there is a folder lab 15. Okay, one problem happens. See, I gave name as Mubin, right? So it got stuck there. Actually, he is looking for lab 15 only, and these things I used to do later. You got my point? It was looking for lab 15, whereas I gave name as underscore Mubin Sheikh. So that's the reason it got stuck here. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. So in scripting, small things will create problems. So now you have to understand all these languages. Then only you will do something. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and try to stop it. Okay. This one is running. I'll go ahead and stop this. Okay. Where it is gone. Here one option was there.
Now, which software is it
This is
Terraform
not a software. This is PowerShell. This is scripting.
or Shell? Okay.
Yeah. So if you want, you'll means this is, see, we have to go a lot more beyond. This is something scripting. PowerShell. You should learn PowerShell. You should learn JSON, then Terraform, and then you should go for Python. Okay. So many more languages are there which you should learn. So anyway, I had to stop this. Well, it is actually, let me go ahead and do it.
Sir, IP address 107 or 108?
107 पे मैं डाल रहा हूँ. There are multiple servers. I am going to use 107. Okay. So Mubin के lab double से काम चल रहा है इसमें. Do you see guys? उसने बोला फिर से है, फिर और error आ गया. Do you see guys here? It's creating. Okay. So actually पुराना भी स्क्रिप्ट चल रहा है, उसके ऊपर नया भी स्क्रिप्ट चल रहा है. ये ओल्ड वाला है ना. I am going to cancel this. तो ये बोल रहा है कि भाई अब ऑलरेडी है. So ये जल्दी सुनता नहीं है, बट सुनाएंगे उसको. Okay, so this way I'm going to have your ESX है. तो आपको क्या करना है, यहाँ पे जाके this is nothing but a virtual machine for me, for you it's server. Okay, तो आपको क्या करना है कि you have to go ahead and create the मैं modify कर दूंगा इसको. Then once you are inside of ESX है, then I'll help you to have the virtual machine. Virtual machine कैसे बनता है, ठीक है? So then you'll come to know. So by tomorrow इस Excel sheet में I'm going to update all this information कि who is going to have what. Okay, यहाँ पे आपको सब मिल जाएगा. Everyone try to access it, so I'll get a request and then I'll accept it. सबको नंबर भी मिल जाएगा, सबका यूजर नेम भी बन जाएगा, and then you'll have access. So tomorrow मैं क्या करूँगा, ESXi इंस्टॉल कर दूंगा और ESXi का प्रैक्टिकल भी तुमको बता दूंगा, and we'll also try to install the vCenter if time permits. ठीक है. So तुमको क्या करना है, followed by the next week, मैं तो आपको संडे को ये सब कर दूंगा. ठीक है. ये मंडे से लेके फ्राइडे तक, जैसे आपको ऑफिस में whenever you get time. ठीक है. So अगर तुम्हारे पास 4 घंटे खाली है, so simply you have to ping there के boot lab for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to boot that lab portion for you. So तुम एक्सेस कर दो, आपके ऑफिस से बोलो या घर से किधर से भी, then you'll access your lab, you'll do your practical, और बाद में तुमको बोलना है कि लैब बंद कर दो, I'll go ahead and shut it off. Okay. और जितने भी लोग कुछ करना है लैब, so simply they will raise hand, या मैं I'm also using, वो व्हाट्सएप पे पूरा चलेगा. ठीक है. So anytime if you are in night shift, do it whole night. If you are in day shift, but make sure that you are using it. Otherwise तुम सुबह में 8 बजे चालू करने लगा रहे हो, दिन भर you are doing some other thing and नाइट में बोल रहे हो कि अभी मेरा हो गया, अभी बंद कर दो. So don't run it and this one, because they are consuming more power for me. उसका अलग से लाइट बिल आता है. ठीक है. So what you do, use it wisely whenever you are working. I don't have an issue if you do it till whole night. Okay. So आपको एक्सेस करना है ये and continue by logging into this one. Second thing,
ID as well.
yeah, pardon.
ID as well. Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Surveyor, please create my ID as well.
Okay, तुम्हारा भी idea. So have you filled that form? वो form भरो, I'll do it because I have to pick up information from that form, so it will be easy
Okay.
for me. ठीक है? So ठीक है guys, ये आपको मैं कल बता दूंगा कि how ESXi का installation कैसे रहेगा, क्या रहेगा. So we'll wrap it up. Any question? आज 15 मिनट्स अर्ली करते हैं, कल 11:30 तक करेंगे. ठीक है?
साबिर भाई, इसका फिजिकल और वर्चुअल की कनेक्टिविटी पिछली बार समझे तो वही समझना चाह रहा था।
कौन सा वाला?
उसमें VM से अगर देंगे हमारे बना ले तो अंदर की जो वर्चुअल कनेक्टिविटी और फिजिकल कनेक्टिविटी इसका कैसा रहेगा?
I'm going to explain that as well. That is something part of switching. Okay. अभी मैं आपको बताया यहाँ पे कि how the transition of switching कैसे बढ़ा. यहाँ पे फर्स्ट कैसे हुआ, फिर स्टैकिंग आया, फिर VSS आया. नाउ सर्वर के अंदर स्विचिंग कैसे चलता है, दैट इज अगेन सेपरेट एंड बिग टॉपिक. ओके, सो आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन यू कंप्यूट को हम हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू गिव दी स्विचिंग, और वो स्विचिंग में एनहांसमेंट कैसे कैसे हुआ. VLAN है, देन VXLAN है, पहले स्टैंडर्ड स्विच है, फिर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड स्विच है, फिर VXLAN बेस्ड लॉजिकल स्विच है. सो ये प्रोग्रेस में आपको पूरा बताऊंगा एंड यू विल रियलाइज, और यू सब तुमको डॉट्स पूरे कनेक्ट कर दूंगा. ठीक है?
ये रिकॉर्डिंग सेशन का लिंक मतलब इसमें डालते जाओ ना ग्रुप में?
यस, ग्रुप में ही होता है. ऑलरेडी द फर्स्ट रिकॉर्डिंग आई गिव ऑन ग्रुप ओनली. ओके, सो आई एम गोइंग टू स्टॉप रिकॉर्डिंग. इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन देन ask me, no issue. Just let me stop recording because our theory and practical is done. So this is something